Hello everybody, this is livery model. So, up today we have an American diesel electric locomotive. The model is branded Mantua Classic. Product code is 414103. It's an Electromotive Division GP20 in Union Pacific livery. This one is equipped with a DCC decoder with sound. However, if you look at the box, it actually has two decoders in it. We're just gonna test one for today. So this can work in both DC and DCC. With a DCC system, it's gonna work with the regular function. With the DC system, it has something a little different than what you would see in most places. So it says that for feature it has a die-cast metal frame, flywheel, all-wheel drive, and knuckle coupler with metal spring, and also some lighting. A bit of background about this model. Well, this model was in the last few years where you still had Mantua branded stuff and also Model Power branded stuff. It finished in the mid 2010s when the company was purchased by MRC, Model Rectifier Corporation, which are very well known for their power supplies. So unfortunately nowadays they don't make these anymore. I heard that the tooling was sold off to a company that you might have heard of. It's called Leonel, and Model Power and Mantua unfortunately are not going to be brand that we're going to see brand new anymore, unless it's new old stuff like this one. So it does come with a fair bit of documentation. So let's take a look at all of this. So the first one here is the limited warranty. Spoiler alert, useless nowadays because the company doesn't exist anymore. So this gives you a bit of information about what is a LocoGenie wireless DCC/DC decoder. So this loco is equipped with one. And lastly, we have the exploded view. And nothing behind. So now for the model. It's packaged in a very plasticky packaging. We have a remote control, and the remote control needs to have AAA batteries to operate. I'm going to put this on the side. And now for the locomotive itself. Oh, yeah, you can feel that the chassis is die-cast. This is, I'm not going to say that this is very, very heavy, but it has a certain amount of weight. So, talking about this, let's just see how much it weighs. 390 grams. Yep, that has a fair amount of weight. Not the heaviest out there, but decent. So, while I do the close-up here, let me talk a bit about this model. This is actually something pretty interesting. The model itself was made, like I said, in the last few years that they actually were still in business. So when they were doing this, you had ESUs that came out with fantastic sound decoders. You had Rapido that started to be around, making the very detailed model that they have. Atlas had also some very nice models with full interior cabs. Well, this is none of this. They really tried to compete with all those other brands. They really tried, and this is what they came up with. What they ended up having was a tooling several decades old. As you can see, almost everything is molded on this. There's not many separately fitted parts beside the handrails. If you look at the handrails, they are quite chunky and pretty plasticky and flexible. So the chassis itself is die cast. The top, the shell, it's all in plastic, even that little bell here. Yeah, it's cold to the touch. The quality of assembly is not that great, and what I mean by that is out of the box, I don't know if you can see this can flex, but the chassis, including the fuel tanks here, they're definitively die cast. They're cold to the touch. The molding itself is not that crisp. It shows its age. The livery, however, is pretty well made. As you can see, every single letter, every single line, everything on this is very crisp. There is no paint bleed. There is no mismatch of color. So in that sense, that's something good. They mentioned something about having lights. It does have lights right here. And in the back, I don't think there is any lights. So, take a very old tooling, put some fancy new tech in it, give an average build quality, while everybody is bringing all their standards very, very high, and have the price set in the same area as everybody else. Well, you have a recipe for what results we have today, which is a company not in business anymore. It's not to say that this model does not look nice. Again, the 3 feet rules applies here, and from 3 feet apart, this looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna attempt something. I don't know how it's gonna turn out on camera. I did put some tracks together. It's just a section of straight tracks with power pickup at this end. And we're gonna try and make this run using that remote control that I'm pretty sure that you're a bit curious about. Just before we put this on the track, let me just show you. This has all-wheel pickup, all-wheel are powered. So decent weight with an all-wheel setup like this. Usually it shouldn't be too bad, right? So the way this works, in the manual, they say you just take any DC controller, and I'm gonna take the cheapest and nastiest one I have, just to show you that there's no shenanigan or anything. This one. That's probably the worst controller in existence. Comes in OMB train sets. Actually, they've even changed it because it was, you know, very, very not liked by people, let's just say it like this. So yeah, you have a control knob like this, a switch. As soon as it is not at the very end of the line here, you're not able to switch this, and if for some reason it shorts out, it takes forever to just reset itself. So now that you know I'm using that controller, and this is what I'm gonna hook up right here. Interesting. Right now, nothing happens if I do this, right? The engine started by itself, as you can see. Oh, the sound sounded stopped for a reason. Okay. The manual says that you need to put it at about 1/3 on the controller, which is what I did right now. I'm just gonna put some batteries in. Regular AAA batteries. So you've got the light function right here. You've got a horn function. You've got a bell function. And then these things here, they make the locomotive go either forward or backward. So, interesting. Okay, let's try to bring it backward because forward decided not to work. So interestingly enough, this has directional light, so it's struggling right now. But this has not been out of its box for many years, so that could be the reason. See, it's already getting better. It does have some inertia. It doesn't stop right away. So if I just press stop, oh, it actually made a little sound for the brakes. Yeah, when you press stop, it does make a little brake sound. I don't know how it turns out on camera, but anyway, I thought it was worth noting. So, I think that overall, this was a good idea, but the execution was not that great. As you can see, it's not that reliable. Obviously, it was in its box for many years. Perhaps if I would have done a service on it before doing this video, it would have probably performed much better. But needless to say, when MRC came up with this, try to save the Mantua and the Model Power brand, well, it was a bit too little too late. All of the other manufacturers have moved on. They all had many different types of lighting available. All were super detailed. This one is not by any mean. It's all a matter of price. I think it looks actually pretty sharp. And the GP20 it's just a, you know, it's a nice looking little road switcher, I think. And yeah, but it never stood a chance. In the market it was sent. But if you can find one of these, should you purchase it? Well, that's a good question. MRC, well, their decoders are not known to be the most reliable one. This one here, I see it more as a novelty. Chances are that if you purchase one of these, well, you're gonna want to make sure that the decoder is good, because first of all, you can't really find them anymore. Even if they have a brand Loco Genie or something like this that we had in the paperwork here, right here. Yeah, they're a bit of custom fitted in this. So it's gonna be pretty hard to replace. Also, I do have more than one locomotive by these guys. And all of those, well, they got the exact same sound. So in terms of realism, I do not think that these sound decoders are, you know, very realistic or anything. Nothing like the ASU or anything like that. However, if you are able to find one at the right price and that you're sure that it works, if this type of model is, if it ticks something for you, I think it's worth it to go ahead. For me, I have many fond memories of running Model Power engines and Mantua Classic engines when I was a kid. So when I found this one that was still brand new in box, that was released about 10 years ago, well, I told myself, yeah, I should get this. So, what do you think about this? Do you have any Mantua models, or do you have any old Mantua models like I do? Did you had any Model Power models like I do? I would like to know. And also, did you like that I tried to run it with so many requests I had over the years of being able to do this? I know it's just a little straight stretch of rail, but if this is something you like, perhaps I can do some more of this. On that note, this was Leeway Model. I hope everybody has a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Leeway Model out.